Hello guys, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It's lovely to have you here and I hope you will stick around. So in today's video, it's another episode of my Use Them Shadows. I have already loads of videos up here. Let me slide out. I already have loads of videos in this series, and basically it's my way of trying to make sure I use all of my eyeshadow palettes. So each Friday I take one of my eyeshadow palettes and create a look with it, and I try to make sure that I create a look that I have not created before on my channel, or at least not with that palette. And well, hopefully if you look back you can see that I'm doing it. But this week we're gonna use one of my newest eyeshadow palettes, and it's the Elf Bite-Size palette in the shade, well, on the top it says Hot Jalapeno, but on the bottom it says Jalapeno, so I'm not sure which one is the original. And I have lip gloss stuck in my mouth, or in my lips, and not lip gloss, but hair. But other than that, the whole sentence was great. Never mind, not one bit was correct. So in this week's video we're gonna create this look that you can see on my eyes. It's just a fun green look that has some lovely shimmery lids and some lovely gold cut crease sort of moment going on. And if you want to see how I created it, please stick around. And everything I use on my complexion will be left in the description box as well. But for now, let's just hop into the video. Alright, so as you can see, my brows are done, and all I've done so far is put my usual Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer down as a primer. And now we can just go in with the palette. So as a first step, I took a small, I'm not even sure what it is. It's like a really dense pencil brush. This is just from a really old Japanese set, I think. But I'm going to take this, and as you can see from the tip of the brush, I dip it in the darkest green shade, coat it well, and I started mapping out my shape. And I kept my eye open so I can apply it fairly high, as you can see on the other side. So started somewhere here and just basically followed the line of my natural crease, just obviously above it. And once I get to the outer corner, I just flick it out towards the end of my brow, like so. And then I just go back in once more and make sure to apply a bit more product. And at this point it doesn't have to be super tidy. Just apply a bit more product. And I didn't go fully in the other corner because once I blend it, it will blend in there anyway. So just go back one more time. And that's where we're at. I'm just trying to make sure that I match it up to the other side, but again there will be a few more other steps, so it's okay. But I'm going in with a teeny tiny blender brush, and this one is the Morphe M506, and I'm dipping it into the lighter matte green shade. Tap it off, and I just basically go over this and blend it so it's not so harsh, and I'll just keep blending it until it looks nice, basically. Once I get to this point where it's fairly nicely blended together, I'm going to take a clean brush that has nothing on it and just sort of blend over it a little bit, as I'm not going to use any other shadow on top of it. If you wanted to, you could use like a loose powder or something and just blend over it, but a clean brush just does the job fine. And later I will apply highlighter on the brow bone, but I haven't done that on either side yet anyway. Now if it gets a bit muddy there, don't worry, we can clean it up later. So now we're gonna cut the crease, and we're gonna just take my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, put a little bit on the back of my hand, And then I just use a lip brush. I quite like lip brushes for cutting my crease just because they are tiny, so I can really get the detail right on the top. So I'm gonna use this one. And even when I'm cutting my crease, I make sure that I go a bit higher up than my actual lid so you can still see a little bit of it when my eye is open. So keep my eye open. And then at the outer corner I just follow the shape that I've previously drawn and then try to make sure it's the same on both. I messed up a little bit there, so I'll try to, there we go, cover it with the brush we used before. Now I'm taking a flat synthetic brush. I think this is just from some sort of eBay brush set, and I'm gonna dip it in this light green shimmery shade, and I'm gonna cover the whole area where we cut it out with the concealer. And this will take a little while, but I just kept patting it on, making sure that everywhere is nicely covered. This brush has a nice rounded edge, so it makes it a bit easier to get into that top bit really. And this shade is so beautiful. Now I'm going to take a flat angled brush. This is from Essence and it's an eyeliner brush. And I'm going to dip back in the darkest green shade, which I think will just give a nice base or glitter later, but it's going to be covered up anyway. And just trace the top line here so you can still see a bit of darker green to make sure that you can properly see where it's been cut, if it makes sense. I mean, it's going to be covered in glitter anyway, but still. So now you see it's properly there. And now I'm going to take a little bit of micellar water on a cotton pad, fold it in half, and make sure clean where the edges of this shadow should be. And I think I need a little bit more green on that outside corner. There we go. And now I can clean it up again. And next I went in with a black eyeliner and I used the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. And I just did a little flick on the outer corner where it almost meets the top of the liner, but not fully. And as you can see, I only brought it in halfway through my eyelid. So it again elongates a little bit rather than fully bringing it in how I normally do. So let's see if I can match it up. I started it at the outer corner. My eye shapes are different, so it's quite hard to make them match, but they match enough. And then to tone down the black a little bit, I'm not sure how much it comes across on camera. In real life it does come across a little bit. It's a bit more matted and it's a bit more muted. So I went back to my palette and to the dark green shade on the same flat liner brush that I use on the top to enhance that dark green. And I just went over the black liner and, well, I didn't really smudge it because it's dry, you can't really smudge it. But just toned it down a smidge. So I'm going to repeat the same on this side. Okay, and the last step I did is to bring in my glitter liner if I can find it. And I used the Heavy Metal liner from Urban Decay in the shade Starfire. And this is a bit more on the bronzy side. I thought of using like a pure gold, but I didn't want to. I thought that this makes a bit more difference and it's a bit easier to spot. And sometimes that's what I want. But actually I just forgot, looking at my eye now. What I did first is I used a small brush. Why can't I find anything? So I used the Sigma E47 and I dipped it in the gold shade and applied it on the inner corner of my eye. And you just see it brightens it up a little bit. And now I'm gonna just trace it from the inner to the outer corner with the heavy metal liner, and I just wanted to make sure that in the inner and the outer portion it just sort of lighter and trails off. So I'm gonna do that and then do my complexion, and then I will see you after that. Oh, and before I go, just so you know, from the glitter liner I used 2 layers to make sure it's nice and opaque. Right, onto complexion. We're back! So, the only last few steps we're gonna go through fairly quickly. First I'm gonna apply a highlight to my brow bone, and for that I use the Mary Luminizer by the Balm, because that's what I use on my cheeks as well. Oh my god, I'm getting distracted by that glow. But that's what I use on my cheeks as well, so I want to match it up. And I just used a teeny tiny no-name brush that I mean it had a name at one point, but I had it for so long that it doesn't have it anymore. It's literally just a teeny tiny flat brush, and I dip it in there. Also, for a second, can we talk about this? Yep, that's my most used highlighter. I mean, that's the oldest as well, but you know. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit on my brow bone, and I did this on the other side as well. Hold on, I think I need a little bit more on this side to match, and I did this on the other side as well because I don't have a lot of space there. I feel like I messed up my eyeshadow a little bit, so I'm gonna go back with a teeny tiny brush from Morphe that we used in the beginning and just blend over there to make sure that my eyeshadow is still fine and the highlighter didn't ruin it. Like so. Then we can move on to the under eyes. And first, for that, I dipped in the lighter green shade and a slanted brush that's fairly small. So for the lower lash line, I used a slanted brush, and this one is just from a company from Amazon, but that's the shape I went for, and I feel like that side is darker. Hold on. Okay, I just had to touch up that eye a little bit because I feel like that was a little bit lighter, and I think we're good now. But also my lights from the window are slightly different, so on camera this always seems slightly different, but in real life we are matching now, so it's good. So as I was saying, for my under eye, we're gonna use that slanted brush and dip it into the light green shade. And just blend it all under my eye. Maybe leaving, ow, I just stabbed myself in the eye. Maybe just leaving the inner corner out, we don't need that bit. And if you have some fallout like I do, take a fluffy brush and just swoop it away. Then I'm still going to take the same brush and dip it in the dark green shade and just blend it on the outer corner a little bit. Just like so. And then I took the clean brush that we used earlier on the top lash line and just sweep it around my eyes a little bit to make sure it's nice and blended. And then take the small brush that we used for the inner corner, so I used the Sigma E47, dip it in the gold shade and bring it down on the lower lash line as well, just in the inner corner. Just so it sort of cuddles that corner, if it makes sense. Just touch up there. There we go. Then I'm gonna apply mascara, and I use the Gosh Bombastic mascara, which I'm trying to play around with lately, and just apply a few coats of this. To finish it off, I wanted to add my Essence Gold liner in my waterline, but it was not working. It just did not want to do it, so I had to swap, and I used, I think I dropped it. Here we go, my Linda Hallberg Mood eyeliner, and this is the shade Happy Mood. It's just a beautiful yellow, which I think works really nicely with the gold. To be fair, you can't see it a lot, but I just did not want to close off my eyes with a dark shade, and that's why I went in with the yellow. But again, originally I wanted gold so it matches with the eyeshadow, but it did not want to happen. I applied a gloss on my lips, and voila! That's the finished look. What do you think? I really love how it turned out. I love the colors and how the gold goes with the green, and I would think that I paid a lot more than £3 for these shadows. The quality is amazing. I'm super happy. But let me know in the comments below what you think of this look, and do you wear green eyeshadow? Do you not? Let me know. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. But for now I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please, please, please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. I upload videos 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and I also have the occasional Saturday videos. But for now I'm gonna go. I hope you have a lovely day, and bye bye.